Hello! So, overnight, the Hype Performance Group, who famously created helicopters for Flight Simulator in the past, sent me a link to download their latest project that's in development. So this is a preview copy of the helicopter. It is not the finished article. So we're having a careful look at it, and I'm not an expert on helicopters by any means. So there's a huge disclaimer there on what I'm going to be showing you. I'm not going to be imparting any detailed knowledge about how anything works, especially not with helicopters, and especially not with this helicopter, because it's got some pretty amazing systems inside it. But we're going to have a look at it anyway. So this is the preview copy of the H160 from Hype Performance Group. So we're going to have a quick look around it. You can see the modelling is absolutely incredible. Absolutely amazing. So we'll look inside in a moment. The inside is just as impressive as the outside. So yeah, the level of modelling in this thing is absolutely stunning. Some of the best I've seen in the simulator. Everybody seems to be fascinated with how well various linkages and things are created, so we're pandering to their fascinations, I guess, by looking at this sort of thing. So we'll go back up around the tail. I mean, just, yeah, the material modelling, the 3D structures, it's incredible, isn't it? Really, really is. Just out of interest, let's go and have a look at the light assembly. I mean, how far can they take this sort of modelling, hey? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Very, very impressive. Every nut and bolt, every thread, it's absolutely incredible. I'm guessing if we go too close, then it might start to come to bits, but apparently not. So anyway, so we'll jump in through the back. We're going to go through the window. Actually, what we could do is jump inside briefly. So if we go and do that, and I'll open my door, because I know I'm not going to appear on the interior. So we'll go and jump around to this side of the helicopter, and we'll come in through the door so we don't break the immersion too much. And you can see straight away that the modelling inside is just as impressive as outside. So you've got all of the various controls, pedals, switches, everything works. And we have a custom avatar there for the co-pilot. Overhead, the switches and everything is just as impressive. They all work. They all move, they all make sounds. It really is something else. So the interior cabin, it's just incredible, isn't it? Really is incredible. Okay, so let's go and get this thing fired up. So, oh, I've gone through the roof. I've broken the immersion. It's coming down through. There's two models of the helicopter you get, by the way. This is the luxury model. There's also a civilian version which fits in 3 rows of 4 seats in the same space, so it's a little bit more cramped in the back. So anyway, let's go and jump back into the normal view. And again, disclaimer, I am no expert at flying helicopters, so you'll have to bear with me, and that you'll see I'll show you around some of the systems. It really is quite something else. I'm just going to stop this from moving itself. Xbox controllers tend to have drift. I was using an Xbox controller there to control the drone camera. They tend to drift, and this one drifts sometimes. Okay, so let's go and center our view up. And I could use head tracking, I guess. So we'll put head tracking on, and we'll center our view nicely. So up overhead we've got the electric switches here, so we can turn the power on, and we can turn the generators on while we're here. and we'll set the engines to come up to idle. It's a FADEC throttle system, so everything is guided really. So we can go and put both engines to go to idle. So you can see alignment is happening here, the systems are coming up. You can see it's doing a weight computation, so weight on wheels I guess. It's saying the AFCS system is disengaged, and I have discovered these are the lights down here. So it follows other Airbus aircraft. I'm just going to turn off the head tracking, it's being a pain. It follows other Airbus aircraft in that once lights are out they're in a good state. So you can see the standby attitude indicator down there is just aligning as well, and it counts down the seconds. It actually aligns and sets itself up remarkably quickly. We've got another tablet alongside the avionics, so you can do nice things like go and look in maps and missions. Let's just have a look at aircraft first. So we've got the loadout of the aircraft, so we can put people in the rear seats. Let's do that. Then if we look around behind us, we've got some people in there now, and they're animated and nicely modelled, and that will affect the weight of the helicopter obviously. We've also got various bits of equipment, so we've got cargo hook and sensors and things, bits and pieces. So if we go and put a belly tank on, for example, can we do that? Or maybe there are other restrictions behind doing this sort of thing. But again, like I said, this is the preview version, so I'm not going to get too much. You can see there's going to be lots coming in terms of cameras and lots of other bits and pieces. Okay, so in the options we can have various. The GTN 750 by PMS, so I guess we have to open this website. Yeah, I've already got it installed in the simulator, so I'm not sure if this has been implemented yet, because I would have thought it would be appearing here. I have got it installed, so I'm guessing that, again, that's because it's in preview at the moment. If we go into setup, we get a whole load of things. So you get gameplay mode, aircraft damage on or off, vortex ring status simulated. You can have springs on the cyclic or not, and yeah, it's a wonderfully modelled aircraft. It's amazing really. So hidden inside this tablet as well is the autopilot control, so you can see while we're on the ground you can't switch it on, but it's got all kinds of clever tricks like altitude hold, heading hold, airspeed hold. It's very, very clever. So coming back out of there, we've also got little nav map integration. There's also some fun things like Flappy Bird. So if we pull up the little nav map integration, that works really nicely, so you can see we're at Wickham Air Park. Okay, let's get this spun up then. So pull the view back. Actually, let's use head tracking to do that, because it's a lot easier to crane your head around using head tracking than it is with the views. So we're going to turn the lights on. So we've got the position lights, the anti-collision, which we'll put to white, and let's have a look and see what that looks like from outside. It's noisy out here, isn't it? Okay, get myself straight in my seat, and we'll ease the collective forwards. Remember, it's a FADEC system, so it's going to do most of the management of the pitch, RPM and torque on its own. Look how stable it is. It does have automatic systems to take off all on its own and to put itself into a hover. I haven't really explored those systems too much yet, but it's great fun to fly around. So let's go outside and have a look. So let's get the undercarriage up. go for a fly, shall we? You can see I have not chosen the day to do this really, but I prefer to fly with live weather than anything else, so let's just close the map for a few minutes. I know where I am. We're at Wickham Air Park. So you can see there's rain is falling all around us. It's been horrible weather in the UK the last few days. But yeah, this helicopter is modelled wonderfully. There are various demonstrations online from the High Performance Group showing off the automated features, such as, you know, the you can do a rearward takeoff where the helicopter backs away from the landing space as a safety measure, as far as I'm aware, when helicopters do that, because it gives them, in case of engine failure, a route straight back into the route they took off, if that makes sense. But it's got all of those systems built in. Okay. It's so smooth to fly though, it's ridiculous. Again, as I said at the start, I am not a helicopter aficionado by any stretch of the imagination, so I do know how to fly a helicopter, you know, the basics of the physics of it, and I can make a good stab at controlling them, but in terms of the acronyms and the, you know, knowing what all these numbers mean, beyond the obvious ones, you know, like engine and torque and things like that, a lot of it is lost on me. So it's something I may learn in the future. Okay, should we drop back down and see if we can put it on a landing pad? So I'm descending too quickly. So it's giving me terrain warnings. So let's get the gear back down. So we'll just gently come back in over the field at Wickham Air Park and see if we can put it on one of the pads. And there's no guarantee I'll be able to do this, so which one should we go for? Number 4 maybe? Yeah, see, my judgment isn't very good. The Toby head tracker is helping a little bit. It'd be a lot easier with VR, to be honest. The helicopter is already very stable, so that helps to an extent. So let's sit up a little bit so we can easily see our momentum. Not having feeling in a simulator in a helicopter does make it a lot more difficult than the real thing, I would imagine. You know, where you can feel your acceleration, as well as looking outside and just glancing around. So I've got the wheel brakes on, so I imagine once the tyres touch the ground, they will arrest any rolling immediately. So we'll just, you know, screech to a halt as long as we're not moving. Whoa! Into ground effect and overcooked it. Let's come back down again. Just try and do this smoothly. Off to one side a little bit, but not too bad. Let's have a look outside and see how we did. Yeah. So practice makes perfect. But you can see it works really nicely. So let's go and pull the engines back again. So we lift these covers and put it back into idle. and then into the off position. You can watch all of the systems will be reflecting what's going on. Again, like I said, a lot of it is lost on me. So as we lose power, it's obviously retreating back to using batteries, so it'll be discharging. You can see that saying that here. Let's have a look outside. The sounds are amazing, really are. Okay, so let's go and turn the power back off. And open some doors and see what it looks like with the doors open from outside. Can we scoot across and try to avoid squashing the co-pilot? Okay, but hang on a second. Okay, apologies for that, somebody came to the door. This is the penalty of recording stuff at home, where unless I pull the phone out of the wall, turn all the phones off and lock all the doors and make it look like no one's here, we get hassled all day long. Anyway, so let's go and open the doors. So we'll open this one and this one, and we'll go back to the drone camera, which was looking around the cabin, and we can have a look around with the doors open before we go. Let's just turn off the head tracking so we're just using the camera controls. Yeah, it's an amazing piece of work, isn't it? It's some of the best modelling I've seen in the simulator, full stop. And the fact that it has so many systems that are obviously going to be implemented in the final thing, it's just incredible. Obviously with that GTN 750, I don't know if that's me missing something there or if it just hasn't been implemented yet. Like I said, it's the preview version of the helicopter. There's a lot still to come by the look of it. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. So that is the H160 that is coming soon from the Hype Performance Group. It's very, very cool. And we've brought it into Wickham Air Park today to have a look at it. Obviously, as you saw, the weather wasn't very conducive to showing off the helicopter. So you get two versions of it. You get several liveries with each version. I imagine there'll be more liveries to come in the future. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And obviously I'll be covering it again soon, and in time I will know the systems and be able to show some more features of the aircraft. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon.